Hey friends, Mike here. Hope all of you are doing well. I know you guys are all busy with December, with the holidays, going shopping and getting ready. So wanted to send a quick video out to you guys. I know this is not a very exciting topic, but it's one that I get a lot of questions from you guys and my friends. I wanted to share my thoughts on this. Again, I'm not a financial planner. I'm not an investment planner. So this is purely my opinion, so you can take what you want from it. But a lot of you know that I'm very passionate about financial literacy, financial education. So I wanted to make a quick video on my thoughts on 2020 on the stock market and really looking at the financial market. So a lot of times I get the question, you know, is the stock market going to crash and when is it going to happen? It's a loaded question, and I think it'd be foolish for anyone that, for those of you that follow the markets, anyone that sort of says when and how and all the details about it, it's foolish because no one knows. The question is, can it happen and will it happen? And I think the short answer is yes. So when we look at the financial markets over the last 10 years, we know that in 2008, 2009, we basically had a meltdown in the financial industry. We had stocks basically go down to, if you follow the Dow Jones, 8,000 points. So we had a huge market correction in the stock market. We had real estate, especially in the United States, correct as well to record time lows. And ultimately this happens because there was no confidence in the marketplace. And a lot of you that talk to me about this stuff, that I always say that in order for an economy or financial markets to work, we need confidence in the marketplace, right? It's as simple as, if I feel confident, I'm going to make that decision. And the investment markets are exactly the same way. So in 2008, 2009, everyone was uncertain. There was a lot of volatility. Nothing was moving. And when things don't move, when there's no transactions happening, if to every transaction, you have a seller and a buyer. And if there's no activity, obviously prices fall. And that's what happened. But in 2008, 2009, under the Obama administration here in Canada too, we dropped interest rates. And what happens is when the Fed drops interest rates, it stimulates growth in the economy because essentially money is cheap. No longer is the cost of borrowing for personal debt, corporate debt, is very low. We had basically a 0% interest rates, which is unheard of. This is something that's never happened in basically for really ever. And when you look back to even 15, 20, 25 years ago, where we had interest rates of 15%, it's something that of course, when interest rates are basically nothing, you know and I wanted to invest, I'm going to go and take cheap money because it's basically doesn't cost me anything. So what happened was in 2009, 2010, and all the way up to even now to 2019, we've had an economic expansion when we look at financial assets. So we've had the stock market. When you look at indexes like the Dow Jones, S&P 500, I know for those of you that maybe don't know what those are, they're basically indexes that track the performance of a group of stocks. So when you hear on the news the Dow fell 50 points or the S&P is up 50 points, all it means is according to their indexes, so what stocks they track, the market went up or down. So I know there's a lot of research and speculation on, are those reflective of the stock market? I don't want to get into that. But anyway, what's happened is the stock market has gone up and up and up, regardless of which index you follow. There's been an expansion in the stock market, certainly. Real estate, same thing. Especially in the U.S., if you look at what's happened to commercial, residential real estate, the prices have gone up. So of course, the investors that sort of got in at 2008, 9, and 10, when asset prices across the board were depressed, and sort of held on to them for 10 years. Now those, they're doing well because now presumably we have stocks, real estate, and other financial assets that are worth a lot of money because the markets have just gone up. So partially that's due to interest rates. It's not, the only reason, but it's a significant factor where cheap money causes expansion in the marketplace. We have confidence now. So, okay, let's go get some money for cheap from the banks, and let's go buy assets, whether that be stocks, real estate. So, and this isn't just for, businesses, this is personal as well, right? So, anyone that's looking to purchase a home is also feels like, money's cheap, interest rates are low, let's go buy. So essentially all of this spending patterns, both personal and corporate, spending patterns caused an expansion in the marketplace. So where we are now is we have a marketplace where there's basically the stock market has had expansion and growth over the last 10 years, and real estate to a certain extent has too. A little bit different in Canada. We've had a lot of interesting things happen in Canada. I don't want to dig into it too much, but especially in the western provinces, with commodity prices being low, it has certainly depressed real estate prices. But across the board in general, most financial assets have seen some type of economic expansion over the last 10 years. So the question is, will the stock market crash or will it correct? And like I said, it's a loaded question because it's, everyone wants to know the when and the how, and, how likely will something like this happen? And the answer is, when you look at cycles and you look at the stock market and real estate, all of these financial markets have cycles. And the question is, when will the cycle turn around, or in the sense, when will it correct or go down? And the answer is no one knows. There's a lot of speculation on when it can happen. Will it happen in 2020? I don't want to say yes or no on that, but what I can tell you is that there's certainly, if you look at the stock market in general, say, is it likely that the stock market will go up another 10-20% over the next year or two? Or is it more likely that it'll go down 10 or 20% over the next year or two? So that's a question that you want to be asking yourself. And for those of you that, have financial planners, investment planners, these are questions you want to have with them. But the short answer to that is there is a market correction coming. What goes up must come down. And the answer is just, when will it happen and how hard will it be? How far will the markets correct downwards, right? When you look at the Dow now, it's over 28,000 points. At some point, that has to come back down. Again, the short answer is, well, if it's likely that the correction is coming soon, how can the average person get prepared for it? And it's another good question. What can we do? So again, there's a lot of different asset classes that do well in recessions, and that there's things that you can mitigate risk. You've got bonds, you've got money market, just straight cash, precious metals markets, income producing real estate. So again, I urge you to do your financial research, get educated. But for those of you that are nearing retirement or are in retirement now and have a lot of stocks, I urge you to take a second look to see if there's a better place where you can reallocate some of your investments, because we certainly have a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace right now, especially coming into 2020 in the global economy. Just many different factors. I don't want to get into a lot of it, but we've got a lot of federal debt. We've got consumer debt all-time high. We've got corporate debt all-time high. There's just many different things happening in the marketplace, and there's a lot of uncertainty. So you just have to be prepared and be educated. So for those of you that are in your late 20s, early 30s, or you're younger and you're willing to wait out the wave, as I call it, just ride the wave. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And I have friends that sort of say, well, I don't really care what happens because I'm in it for the long term, and that's totally fine. But again, I just wanted to shoot this quick video as I'm getting ready here for the day to let you guys know about my opinion. Again, you can take what you want of it. If you found this to be helpful, please share it with your family and friends. If you've got any thoughts, if you disagree with me, I urge you to comment too. Let me know what your thoughts are. But again, I just wanted to shoot this quick video to provide some of my opinions on this and looking at 2020. I know it's, again, not the hottest topic right now, especially because we're very busy in December, but it's something that's very important, and it's something that you should be aware of. So anyhow, hope you guys found this helpful. We'll talk to you guys soon.